Sorry, I'm already struggling with this, man. I'm already struggling with this. What is the point of this video? What is the idea here? She's stopping taking her meds and she's gonna write a daily log of how she feels. That's the science part, I see. Really? You're just watching this woman talk about how she's trying to fix her own anxiety? Is nothing sacred anymore? Okay, dude. Legit, nobody is asking for this. Nobody cares. How about you try putting out some compelling content for the few fans you've got left? Have you considered just, like, getting on with your life? Have you thought about this, Erudite? Have you considered it? Like, just lock in. I did used to enjoy logging Erudite. It used to be very funny to me. It's just kind of embarrassing now. It's like a car crash.
Hey everyone, so... Hey everyone,
I feel bad covering it, because it's just mocking our woman. I'm like, not everyone has realized that she's a woman, but enough people have realized, you know, have seen what I see to where, like, I'm satisfied. Like, when I started hating Erudite, it's like I'm the only one saying this. It's like, no one gets it. It's all just DGG astroturfing everywhere. Everyone's just pretending that she's, like, worth shit. Everything is just astroturf DGG bullshit. And finally, I managed to break through. People started realizing, people started seeing exactly what's wrong with this woman. How annoying and stupid she is. How there is just absolutely nothing redeeming here. She's not intelligent. It was complete bullshit astroturfing that DGG is engaged in because she says the same things that Destiny said. If you just repeat the things that Destiny says, they'll pretend you're smart. So she got absolutely lifted up like crazy. Has no original thoughts of her own. Was not able to meaningfully engage in any conversation she was a part of. Just a condescending, useless. And now everyone else sees that. Everyone else knows that. And it's like, well, what am I here for? Not everyone, you know. Some people in the comments obviously still think she's like not a total empty-headed moron. Yeah, like Erudite, Mama JF, and Healer Klein, the woman trinity. For real, they're like just three sides of the same. Not the same coin that doesn't have three sides, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Not three sides of the same coin, but you know what I mean. You know. Okay, let's watch this video, dude.
I am inviting you guys on a journey. I have realized through the process of immigration, the visa and everything, that SSRIs, I've been on SSRIs for 2 years for my anxiety. I started in 2022 after an entire lifetime of denying that I was anxious because my anxiety never manifested in like worrisome thoughts, which is a really, really common expression of generalized anxiety. It was all somatic. Wow. So it was all muscle tension and irritability. In fact, in many ways, when I think about it, I expressed very similar to how men typically express. A
coin is a cylinder, and a cylinder does have three sides. Kuihman, that's so true. That's so true. They do have three sides, don't they? Technically. If you think about it, because the side runs all the way around the edge. But really, if you think about it, they do have three sides. They should have three faces, but three sides, but not.
Which goes to show you the intersectional value of all research, not just medical research, where men are vastly underrepresented in studies of mood disorders, and women can express like men too. And I think I'm one of those. So my anxiety typically manifests in irritability and kind of like a driven by a motor, but in a very negative way. It's more of like a driven by a giant zombie horde running behind me, except...
Sorry, I'm already struggling with this, man. I'm already struggling with this. It's just like the most droning bullshit in the world. And she's got Vaseline smeared all over the camera. This is totally fucking unbearable, dude.
The only way to escape the zombie horde is to be productive at all times. And, you know, the productivity of the actual productive work is questionable.
An irritable woman? That's a mental disorder?
At times. And it's kind of what...
Yeah, why is this the part you cut out of a stream to post? I don't understand.
Talk about in kind of like pop psych land. I think it's a reasonable language to use, even though it's not...
Thank you for the $2, Ryle. Thank you.
Not diagnostic, which would be like functional anxiety. My anxiety makes me extremely good at school and work because it basically makes me a workaholic. I escape my anxiety through feeling productive and useful. And I can't take SSRIs anymore because they're making my brain fog horrible. And I was recently diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder, which will tie into this video in a little bit. But
stop taking medication. I'm joking.
The symptoms of that is fatigue. And so with the SSRIs causing brain fog and the autoimmune disorder causing fatigue and my brain injury, it's just been, I just haven't been fully 100% me, like operating at 100%, really there, really logical, thinking well, engaging and wrestling with concepts creatively. My creativity was like nuked. And so I've decided, after talking with my doctor, it's all in the clear, to go off of SSRIs. But unfortunately, that means that I have to figure out a way to manage this like deep set long-term anxiety without medication, which is really scary. I think my anxiety was a really big factor.
Well, just without SSRIs, right? Why don't you just take like benzos or something? Just like, you know, hit the Xans.
That led to a lot of Nick and I's marital issues. And so I'm pretty nervous. And I thought, I had this idea, and by I had this idea, I mean, Nick suggested something like this, and I was like, oh my gosh, I could do it in this way, in this way, in this way, in this way. And he was like, you should do that.
Oh yeah, did you mention the marital issues? Sorry, yeah, I meant to like point things like that out, aren't I? Whoa, guys, she's mentioning marital issues, whoa. What, her male wife isn't working out. Uh-oh, guys. Uh-oh, we really care about this, don't we? Isn't this very funny? Isn't her life falling apart very funny, guys? Point and laugh.
Factor that led to a lot of Nick and
Great one, Chud. Wait, wrong streamer. Okay.
Nice marital issues, and so I'm pretty nervous. And I thought, I had this idea, and by I had this idea, I mean, Nick suggested...
I'm sorry, look, Bog, I have changed, because it used to just be me doing it, but now I know Beckett has already pointed out that she's got marital issues on his stream, and now anyone else that covers this will also point out, oh, Erudite's saying she's got marital issues. Wow, maybe her bitch husband is totally useless and she hates him, or whatever they're going to say about it. So it's not just me anymore. Like, really, do I want to be saying the same shit everyone else is saying?
Something like this, and I was like, oh my gosh, I could do it in this way, in this way, in this way, in this way. And he was like, you should do that, and then just make content of it. So because I have a psychometric background, I'm obviously very comfortable with data and psychological evaluation. Now, there's a lot of psychological evaluations that I'm trained on that I can administer to myself, like IQ tests and WIPSIs, but I don't think that they'd be interesting to include as a measure for this, but they're not necessarily relevant. But basically, I'm going to re-up to make sure that the measures that I'm used to for anxiety and depression, and probably like, I think I might do a global functioning score as well, are the most up to date, which would be like the BAI, so Beck anxiety, Beck depression, and then there's usually like a GFH, like global function.
So I don't really understand. What is the point of this video? I don't really get this. Experimenting on anxiety with science. Come join me. Okay, I don't understand what is the idea here. It just seems to be her talking about how she's not taking her meds anymore. That's not experimenting on anxiety with science. That's I don't know, man. Women do that every 6 months. Like, some men too. Men don't start taking them in the first place, okay? Men know better. Alright? Well, meds are for women.
There's like a global functioning index. I'll need to look up the name of it again. But my thought is that basically I'll take these, they're free online, and I might turn them into... I'll probably put it on Qualtrics if I can afford this subscription. Qualtrics is just, it's actually the way that most data scientists build like self-report questionnaires. If they want to do questionnaires online, is you just build a Qualtrics questionnaire, it fills it in, and then every person who fills it in, it collects into data, and it's really easy to export to any data system.
Wow.
And basically I want to do I'm probably just going to work through all of the empirically tested measures.
Dude, the armpit thing is like so crazy. There's something sick about the armpit thing. Something really sick about it. Not that she's doing it. She's doing it because she's retarded. That's why she lifts her arms up so much, because she's retarded. But the issue is that the audience has sexualized the armpit thing. They have seen her lifting her arms up in the air. They don't really know why it's happening. They just see like armpits and they're like weird DG Guna fucking losers. So they're like getting off to it and posting about how they're getting off to it. That is a symptom of retardation. They're just like getting off to the idea of someone being disabled. That's all that's happening there. It's like having a like a nugget fetish or something, you know, like a quadriplegic. It's like that kind of thing. Or like, yeah, if you were just jerking off over videos of Mama JF being like, he's trying to kill me. He's trying to... If you were jerking off over that, that's the sort of shit that the armpit thing is. So there's something really sick going on here. There is something really disgusting happening in the mind of the average erudite viewer.
Treatments for anxiety and depression. And when I say anxiety, depression, I should probably qualify that. What I'm really looking for isn't just so... A lot of psychology...
That's the Mama JF voice. That's the Mama JF voice. He's trying to kill me. That's how she sounds, isn't it?
Very concerned with taking you from like -4 to 0. That would be the BAI, BDI anxiety treatment. What I'm interested in is not just evaluating my -4 to 0 experience, but also trying to evaluate my 0 to like +8 experience. So my like well-being, because I think I actually have a fair bit of well-being despite having a fair bit of like mental health issues. And so I'm going to track it all for you guys. So I'm basically going to try to do 30 days of different methods basically that are recommended that improve anxiety and depression. And then I'm going to fill out a measure daily to kind of correlate the progression of my anxiety depression with whatever measure I'm implementing at the time. And it works out really well to tie into the autoimmune because right now I just got accepted to a clinical...
This is the experimenting on anxiety with science. This is the science part. She's stopping taking her meds and she's going to write a daily log of how she feels. That's the science part. I see.
Trial for the autoimmune disorder.
I mean, that's as good as any science in psychology. Let's be serious here.
Diagnosed with in January. Thank you, Dr. Kelly Jean. Not even joking. She recommended it. I've gone into an actual doctor and been confirmed. I have a disorder called Sjogren's disease. It's progressive, just means that I'm dry all the time. It has like other effects and symptoms. That's where like the acid tears come from. But anyways, for this clinical study, I have to fill out like a dryness measure, basically, where I self-report how dry I feel every day. And I have to do that for the next like 14 months. I think it's the length, 14 or 16 months. It's a really long study. So I'm already required to build in this habit. And it sends me a text every day reminding me to do it. So I'm just going to barely test them in youth to make sure that they apply. In your eyeballs, that didn't help. Well, enjoy. Right here is Wikiversity. I really like Wikiversity as like a beginner of finding different like measures and evaluations. It's just like a really good overview. So it is doing in youth. Most measures for mood disorders that work for youth work just as well in adults. It's just you have to secondarily test them in youth to make sure.
She looks like she just got out of a swimming pool. How the fuck is she dry? Lol.
That they apply generally. But obviously I will still check every measure for adult measures. Nothing that I'm using is normalized. And when I say normalized, all that means is that I would be comparing my own data to other people a lot like me. So it would be like other 31-year-old women, for example. None of these measures are normalized. The BAI, BDI isn't normalized. There's just kind of like clinical cutoffs and stuff to interpret the data. So they're really, really simple measures. There's nothing super crazy going on. But I want to basically correlate the time of treatment over time with the fluctuation in my anxiety and depression. I don't really have
excellent stuff.
Depression like regularly, although as a result of kind of this recent business drama and all of the like harassment and straight up like lies that have been spread about me, I've definitely been experiencing some episodic depression. And so I figured I may as well throw that in the lump. And then, yeah, I want to do probably a couple of positive psych. Those are the ones that I need to look a lot more into, because positive psych is a...
I'm sure Ghislaine Maxwell felt really bad sitting in that cold cell too. I'm sure she felt very depressed in there.
New field that started like the 1990s, and so I'm way less familiar with positive psychology self-reports because it's a newer industry. And the reality is that as a psychometrist, almost all of the work that I do is looking at like disorders, so it's looking at the 0 to -4. So we're just like less concerned with like generalized well-being, just a whole other conversation. But anyways, so that's what I'm going to be doing. I figured what I'm probably going to do is work my way through all the empirical stuff. And then if I still have time, or I'm really enjoying it, or you guys are really enjoying it.
It's not even the people who've stolen my A-log target. Like, this is just like a bit much, to be honest. This video is just like too much for me. She needs to release a video saying more retarded opinions on politics. If you weren't around last night, me and Jay Stalk actually were watching her talk to Tom Foolery about politics. And that was very funny, because she's like really dumb. So like if you hear her talk about like her ideas for like an extended period of time, it's always funny. But this is just like, oh, I'm gonna keep a journal of how I feel every day. This is like doing science on my anxiety. It's just like the deranged cope of a miserable 30-something white woman. And not even in like a funny way. It's like not that she's not got enough energy or shit going on for it to be like in a funny way. It is just like the retarded, like 30s white woman. I'm gonna stop taking my meds. They're fucking me up too much. You know, I need to start a journal cope.
Even work my way through like pseudoscientific claims. It just depends on cost. Everything that I'm going to start off with, especially because I have $0 to my name, is going to be free things that you can do. So that would be things like journaling. So what I'm going to start off with, because I've already been doing it a fair bit, is going to be nature. I'm just going to add an additional element from actually one of my she studied under the same supervisor I did in undergrad. She's now got a PhD. She was ahead of me by like 3 or 4 years, but she's got a PhD in nature and positive psychology. So I might look at implementing some of her depression anxiety measures, just because I'm really familiar with the methodology, just because I've probably read every single paper she's ever done, and my supervisor did the studies with her. So we just talked about her methodology a lot. So I'm just really familiar with it. So that's probably what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do nature stuff. Typically the nature stuff.
Wow. I'm going for walks. Wow. I'm really familiar with the methodology. Go for a 20-minute walk each day.
Usually requires you to engage in some level of like awe and like a mindfulness around nature. So it's not just being in nature. You're supposed to be in nature typically for about 30 minutes.
Sorry. Go for a 30-minute walk and make sure you're not thinking about stuff while you do it. Okay. Go for a 30-minute walk. Long, slow, deep breaths. You know, calm yourself. Try to clear your mind. Look at the trees. Don't listen to music. Yeah, sorry, the methodology, sorry.
But then ideally you like write something down, or you like take some level of intentional note to appreciate the like beauty or comfort or whatever nature inspires in you. You intentionally engage with that in the 30 minutes while you're spending time in nature. So because I do horse chores every single day, I'm in...
Really? You're just watching this woman talk about how she's trying to fix her own anxiety? Is nothing sacred anymore? Okay, dude.
Nature every day for a minimum of an hour. So that will be super easy to do. Unless it's raining. But even if it's raining, you're still supposed to do it, even if you just sit on your porch. So that'll be the tricky thing, especially I should definitely do the nature first, because it's going to be rainy season here in Florida somewhat soon. So that I can kind of dodge like a daily deluge of misery. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. If you are interested in it, you can follow along. And there's a good chance I will make some of this available to you guys, but not right away, because I need to just think about I just need to like talk to, I always check with the college. I'm not registered as an addictions counselor anymore, but it's always good to just like check with the local college. So I'd probably email the American Psychology Association, just make sure it'd be okay that I like release just these measures, and it would just be like my version of these collected measures and the data. Yeah, we'll have to see. I might not, just as a heads up. I need to think about it, but regardless, you're welcome to join along.
Like, literally nobody cares whether you release your instruction manual on how to go out into nature and feel better. Legit, nobody is asking for this. Nobody cares. How about you try putting out some compelling content for the few fans you've got left instead of this bullshit? Just an idea.
Probably walk you guys through probably the next video that I release, because this is pretty brief, is going to be me showing you how I'm building the measures that I'm using and why I'm using them, as well as like how I'm going to be evaluating myself daily. So look forward to that. Here's to trying to get well soon. I will probably also be releasing a letter to my future self. I'm going to probably every month or two. I'm not sure how often I want to do it. I might even like look into the literature on this. There probably isn't a time. There might be like a treatment module that maybe I can find where I just write a letter to myself, like kind of what I hope for my future self. And then I'll open them at some set time. I'm not sure when. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the journey. And if you don't, hopefully I do.
Maybe some of this stuff helps. I'm just glad I've never felt compelled to do any of this, to be honest.
I suppose. Just so it's clear, while this is like scientific in nature, this is obviously not going to be like a super, super high quality empirical study, because
have you considered just like getting over it? Have you thought about just like fucking getting over it? Have you considered just like getting on with your life? Just like, you know, doing shit? Have you thought about this, Erudite? Have you considered it? Like, just lock in. Have you thought about this? Have you considered this?
An N size of 1. I have a whole bunch of confounding factors that would impact the treatments, which is that I have a progressive autoimmune disorder. I'm 31 and a woman, and I'm already previously...
This is why she relates to teenage boys so much.
...established a very, very physically active person. So even though these correlates, these like confounding factors are oftentimes not accounted for in a lot of anxiety treatments, it's just something to be aware of, that like if I go through an experience and I find one thing really helpful and then you try it and you don't, that's
progressive autoimmune disorder. You can just call them destiny.
Totally normal. This is really scientific stylized. It's intentional in trying to like track the data over time. But I would never take my data of 1 and say that it could be applied to other people necessarily. You're welcome to try it, but yeah, this is not prescriptive in any way, shape, or form. You might be wondering, what are the treatments that I'm thinking of like employing immediately? So I'm going to do a month of just like pure nature stuff. What I need to think about is so like the nature stuff, I can remove the awe. I can't really remove feeding my horses. They have to be fed every day. Dude, I will probably like apply a treatment and then remove it and then do a new one for a month. That probably makes the most sense. Otherwise, if I just like add on top, then it's hard to know which treatment is helping. It's probably just like the fact that I'm doing all these things.
Are there people watching this all the way through for reasons other than just attacking her? Like, who is watching this? Or who doesn't just click off by this point? Seriously. What does anyone get from this? I don't understand.
I think it'd be more interesting to see like how each one kind of impacts my mood month by month. So I'm going to start with the nature. An obvious next one will be some form of like a CBT style journal.
CBT?
I'm going to look and kind of see what's out there, what I like the most, because it's been a few years since I've looked at the literature. So I'll probably do a CBT style journal after.
Hope exploring her worldview, where she went wrong, is going well. She needs to reevaluate how she draws conclusions and where she derives her values.
Thank you for the $5. Hugely appreciated. Thank you. I like mental health shit normally, but this is boring. It's just mindfulness, but more pretentious. Yeah, it's like not even like, I don't know, man. Like, mental health content just fucking sucks. I gotta be real. You're a loser if you watch mental health content. I'm sorry. This is total death. You're a loser if you watch this stuff. If you be out here watching content where they just talk about taking deep breaths and going on nature walks, you need to just lock in. You need to, there's something going wrong in your life where you think that somehow watching YouTube videos about taking deep breaths is going to benefit you more than just like fucking doing something. Just like getting off your ass and stop staring at the fucking screen. If you're feeling that bad about yourself that you're watching this content, you need to be doing something different. You need to not even be in the place where you end up watching this content. It's like a problem. You're watching Dr. K, you're watching NotSoErudite. There's a fucking problem. Something has to change. Just watching this content is not going to do anything. It doesn't actually encourage you to go do anything. It doesn't encourage you to make a change in your life. You just sit there and passively consume it, and you're like, oh yeah, that's so true, that's so true. And then I'll try that next time I'm feeling bad, yeah. I'll try that. You never actually start moving. You never actually change your life. You never actually start doing anything. It's just a fucking cope. It's just like a fucking cope to scratch some receptor in your brain. You just endlessly consume this shit. Yeah, health by osmosis. Somehow I'll become mentally healthy without actually fucking doing anything. If I just keep watching enough fucking Dr. K videos about my doshas, maybe it'll fix itself. It's gotta change. The mental health content is completely fucking worthless. Yeah, productivity porn. That's like a great example, a great term for it. It's like you are engaging in the fantasy of helping yourself, engaging in the fantasy of getting better. In no way are you actually improving or learning anything. It's like all very fucking simple. If you just spent like the $50 for an hour with a fucking therapist, like not even like a good therapist, not even like a psychiatrist or anything like that, just like a fucking therapist, I went to them and said, oh, I feel bad sometimes. The first thing they're gonna fucking say to you is the shit Erudite says to you in every video. Are you sure you take deep breaths? Have you thought about going for a walk in nature and writing about how you feel? Like, it's like a fucking day one therapy bullshit. Every woman has heard the shit a million times from the 500 therapists she's had a first session with. And they all drop it within a week. They never actually stick to it, and then they just watch these videos and pretend they're actually doing something. It's insane. The mental health content industry has to end. Has to stop. This is terrible stuff. Terrible, predatory stuff, frankly.
After that, I'll probably do
get lock in, get aura.
That's like that one might be later. But some form of like mindfulness meditation practice where all I'm doing is like a mindful meditation. I might do a couple of different variations as well. So for example, yeah, there's just a lot of different styles of mindfulness meditation, and I'm going to actually probably try out a couple of different modules of it. And then I guess we'll see. I'm going to just kind of look in the literature and see what's out there. I might even look at like cardio. I do very, very little cardio myself. So I'm curious to see if 30 days of cardio would change my anxiety. So we'll just look, see what's kind of empirically supported, and I'm going to test it out. And then after that, if we're still having fun with it, I might try some more alternative medicine treatments as well and see
alternative medicine
what the effects
treatments
would be, at least for me personally. I'm very, very curious.
Awesome.
Ice bathing would be more in that direction. I think there's some literature that's coming out about ice bathing, ice bathing, and
oh yeah, no, dude, can we send Erudite for an ayahuasca trip? Can we fundraise for Erudite to do ayahuasca? Oh my god.
But yeah, that's gonna be the plan. I know a lot of you have probably been waiting on my Finding Feminism series. I would like to continue it.
Thank you for the £7.77 Erudite content. I'm tuning in. Thanks for the laughs and great analysis, fellow Brit. Let's hit that goal. Like Erudite, hit the wall. Okay, 777 for luck. 777. What does that mean? Maybe the $2 right.
It's not been lost on me. I just it's been tough. So anyways, I'm gonna do that for a little while. As always, big hugs, big kisses. Think well. Oh, and if you like my content, subscribe. Okay, I lost like 400 subs because of like people lying about me. So let's try to build that back. And if you like my content, share it with a friend.
Wow, crazy stuff. Wow. Should we just, oh, we can't even do, okay, never mind. Wait, we can just go to. Yeah, sharing with all my friends and family. I will be sharing with all my friends and family. Let's have a look. Let's see if there's anything in the VOD here. Yo, thank you for the raid, Chris the Narc. We are currently looking at Erudite content. Thank you for the $4.99 Kilovetler. Thank you. Thanks for sharing with your friends. Okay. What do we have going on here? What was happening here?
Time 50, you know? I've even like talked to some Trump people who are like, yeah, he's pretty annoying now. I'm like, you know, at least you got there, I guess. Your presidents can't serve more than twice. When you're done with him, can we have him as our British Prime Minister, please? You're more than welcome to him. Yeah, we'll that'll be our main export, okay? Our president.
Yo,
some
Dan
Republicans can't
Saltman
be
in the
reached,
chat.
though. I mean, some leftists, some tankies can't be reached, some Nazis can't be reached. Like, this is just true of all groups. Yeah.
Dan hates this woman, by the way. Dan likes to pretend he doesn't. Dan absolutely hates this woman.
Okay. I should do a call to action. Hey guys, do you enjoy my stuff? I'm back to streaming. This is my first week back of fully streaming. I've streamed
That's why he's here right now.
Yay! Imagine like yay and cheering and claps for me, okay? If you guys are enjoying the stream, one of the best ways that I know that is by getting your guys' support. So there's lots of ways you can support the stream. One of the best ways...
Yeah, don't forget that Dan fired this woman, guys.
As I write this...
Okay, so she watches like Ezra Klein. Fire. This is not thrilling stuff, really, is it?
Actually, just...
There's got to be something better going on
does
here.
That. I think it's a really good soft power
who is
tool.
That?
Like Democrats...
Oh, then we have the Tom talk.
Tom
and then it's the Tom talk the entire rest of the stream.
Join, but I don't see where he is.
Yeah, it looks like it. Okay. We could watch the Tom talk, but I think I want to move on.